A man's worth is no greater than his ambitions. That's what the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius believed, and history has proven him right. Women are naturally drawn to men of substance, those who live with purpose, confidence, and self-mastery. But what if I told you that the things women find most irresistible aren't what most men think? In this video, we're diving deep into the 7 things women secretly love about men, things that go beyond superficial looks and status. Stay with me until the end because every trait on this list has the power to change how women perceive you. And if you enjoy this content, make sure to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below with your own experiences. Chapter 1: Confidence. Confidence is the foundation of attraction. It's not about being the loudest person in the room, bragging about achievements, or seeking approval from others. True confidence is much deeper. It's about having an unshakable belief in yourself, no matter the circumstances. Women instinctively gravitate toward men who exude certainty in their actions, speech, and body language. They can sense when a man is secure in who he is and when he's merely putting on a front. A truly confident man doesn't need to prove himself to anyone. His presence alone speaks volumes. A Stoic man understands that confidence doesn't come from external validation, it comes from within. It's not about how others perceive him, but how he perceives himself. He knows that real confidence is built through self-mastery, discipline, and resilience. It's the ability to stand firm in his principles, even when faced with criticism or adversity. This kind of inner strength makes a man unshakable, and women find that incredibly attractive. They don't just want a man who appears confident in social settings, they want a man who remains composed and self-assured in all aspects of life. When a man walks into a room with composed energy, maintains eye contact, and speaks with clarity, people take notice. He doesn't have to demand attention, it naturally gravitates toward him. This isn't arrogance, it's self-assuredness. There's a distinct difference between arrogance and confidence. Arrogance is rooted in insecurity. It's the need to dominate conversations, belittle others, or constantly seek validation. Confidence, on the other hand, is quiet yet powerful. It's the calm certainty of a man who knows his worth and doesn't feel the need to prove it to anyone. Women find confidence attractive because it signals strength, leadership, and the ability to handle life's challenges. A man who is sure of himself naturally makes those around him feel at ease. His presence is reassuring. He doesn't panic in stressful situations or second-guess himself when making decisions. This reliability makes him highly desirable. Women don't just want a man who is physically strong, they want one who is mentally unbreakable. Life will throw obstacles in the way, and they need to know that the man they're with won't crumble under pressure. True confidence isn't something you're born with, it's developed through discipline and overcoming adversity. Every time you push yourself beyond your comfort zone, you strengthen your belief in yourself. Confidence comes from experience, facing challenges head-on, failing, learning, and improving. A man who embraces failure as a stepping stone to success becomes unstoppable. Women admire men who have the courage to take risks, pursue their goals, and remain resilient in the face of setbacks. It's not about never failing, it's about always getting back up. Another key element of confidence is self-respect. A man who values himself naturally commands respect from others. He sets boundaries, doesn't tolerate disrespect, and isn't afraid to walk away from situations that don't serve him. Women are drawn to men who have standards because it shows they have a strong sense of self-worth. A man who allows himself to be walked over or constantly seeks approval is not seen as confident, he's seen as weak. Confidence is knowing your value and refusing to compromise on what you believe in. A confident man also takes care of himself physically, mentally, and emotionally. He understands that his appearance, fitness, and posture play a role in how he presents himself to the world. He doesn't dress to impress others, He dresses well because he respects himself. He doesn't work out just for aesthetics, he does it because he values his health and strength. He continuously educates himself, expands his skills, and invests in personal growth. This continuous self-improvement fuels his confidence and makes him even more attractive. Confidence isn't about being perfect, it's about being comfortable with imperfection. A truly confident man doesn't fear failure, rejection, or criticism because he understands that none of these define him. He doesn't need constant reassurance or compliments to feel good about himself. His self-worth is built on his actions, values, and mindset. He embraces challenges not because he expects to win every time, but because he knows each challenge makes him stronger. Ultimately, confidence is the key that unlocks every other trait that makes a man desirable. A man with confidence can lead, inspire, and create opportunities. He doesn't wait for permission, he takes action. Women are naturally drawn to this energy because it represents stability, strength, and ambition. The more you invest in yourself, the more attractive you become, not just to women, but to the world. Chapter 2: Dependability. A man is only as good as his word. It's one thing to talk about reliability, but it's another to live it every single day. If a woman knows she can rely on you, you instantly set yourself apart from the majority of men. Dependability isn't just about showing up on time or keeping your promises, it's about proving through your actions that you are solid, stable, and trustworthy. A dependable man is someone who can be counted on no matter the situation. Whether it's in times of joy or hardship, he remains consistent. He doesn't flinch under pressure or back down when things get tough. Instead, he rises to the occasion, showing the strength of his character in the way he handles challenges. A Stoic man understands that his reliability is a direct reflection of his integrity. When he says he will do something, he does it, not because it's convenient, but because he understands that his word is his bond. He values his commitments and follows through with them, knowing that trust isn't built on empty words, but on consistent action. This kind of dependability is something women find deeply attractive because it represents stability in an unstable world. Many men struggle in relationships because they make promises they don't keep. They say they'll change, but they don't. They say they'll be there, but they aren't. Over time, this erodes trust and makes a woman feel uncertain about where she stands. Dependability extends far beyond simply showing up. It means being emotionally stable, financially responsible, and consistent in your behavior. A dependable man doesn't just react impulsively to his emotions, he controls them. He doesn't allow temporary feelings to dictate his long-term actions. He is level-headed in the face of conflict and composed in stressful situations. A woman needs to know that she can rely on a man's emotional strength, especially during difficult times. She needs to feel that when life throws obstacles their way, he won't crumble, he will stand firm, assess the situation logically, and take the necessary steps to overcome the problem. Financial responsibility is another crucial aspect of dependability. A man doesn't need to be rich to be reliable, but he does need to have control over his finances. Reckless spending, poor money management, and financial instability create stress in any relationship. A man who is dependable understands that his ability to provide, save, and plan for the future affects not only himself but also those who rely on him. It's not about wealth, it's about responsibility. A man who takes care of his obligations, pays his debts, and makes smart financial decisions is a man who exudes stability and security. Consistency is the glue that holds dependability together. A woman should never have to guess which version of you she's going to get. She shouldn't have to wonder if you'll be in a good mood one day and completely unreliable the next. When a man is consistent in his words, actions, and emotions, he builds a foundation of trust that is unshakable. This doesn't mean he has to be perfect, no one is, but it does mean that he should be predictable in the best way possible. A woman should know that if he says he'll do something, she doesn't need to double-check. If he makes a commitment, she doesn't need to worry about whether he'll follow through. Many men fail in relationships because they lack follow-through. They overpromise and underdeliver. They get excited about commitments in the moment, but fail to execute them when the time comes. This kind of inconsistency creates doubt and insecurity, making it difficult for a woman to fully trust them. A man who lacks dependability may be charming, attractive, or fun to be around, but when it comes to building something real, he will always fall short. Women don't just want a man for the good times, they need someone who won't disappear when things get tough. Strength isn't about never falling, it's about always getting back up. Life will test every man at some point, and what truly defines him is how he responds to those challenges. A dependable man doesn't shy away from adversity, he meets it head-on. He understands that difficulties are inevitable, but his reaction to them is a choice. He doesn't complain about hardships, he overcomes them. He doesn't make excuses, he finds solutions. This resilience makes him the rock that a woman can lean on. When she sees that he is unshaken by life's storms, she feels a deep sense of trust in him. She knows that no matter what happens, he will be there. Dependability isn't just a trait, it's a lifestyle. It's about showing up, being reliable, and proving through actions that your word is worth something. A man who embodies dependability becomes irreplaceable because he provides something rare, certainty in an uncertain world. He becomes the person a woman can count on, and that kind of trust creates a bond that is nearly impossible to break. Chapter 3: Being a Good Listener. Women are incredibly perceptive. They can sense when a man is genuinely engaged in a conversation versus when he is simply waiting for his turn to speak. This distinction is crucial because true listening is one of the most underrated yet powerful traits a man can possess. Most men fail to recognize that listening isn't just about hearing words, it's about understanding emotions, intentions, and unspoken thoughts. A Stoic man listens not to respond, but to truly comprehend what is being said. He absorbs every word, pays close attention to the details, and remembers the things that matter to her. This is where deep emotional connections are formed, connections that many men overlook or fail to cultivate. When a man genuinely listens to a woman, he makes her feel seen and valued. In a world filled with distractions, where most conversations are surface level and rushed, a man who can be fully present stands out. It's easy to nod along and give generic responses, but a woman knows when a man is simply going through the motions. A man who listens intently not only picks up on what she's saying, but also on how she's saying it. He notices the slight changes in her tone, the pauses in her words, and the emotions beneath her statements. This level of attentiveness makes a woman feel deeply understood, and that is incredibly rare. Women love when a man brings up something she mentioned weeks ago because it shows he truly cares. It's not just about recalling details, it's about proving that he values her thoughts and experiences. Many men assume that impressing a woman requires grand gestures, but often the smallest moments create the biggest impact. Remembering the little things she says, whether it's her favorite coffee order, a childhood story, or a personal struggle, makes her feel special. It tells her that her words don't just go in one ear and out the other, they stay with you. That kind of attention is magnetic. A man who listens well demonstrates patience, intelligence, and emotional depth, three qualities that set him apart from the rest. Patience is shown through his willingness to let her express herself without rushing or interrupting. Intelligence is reflected in his ability to ask thoughtful questions and respond in ways that show he truly understands. Emotional depth is revealed in his ability to connect with her words on a meaningful level. When these three qualities come together, they create an aura of maturity and confidence that is incredibly attractive. But listening goes beyond words. A great listener pays attention to body language, tone, and emotions. Sometimes, what a woman doesn't say is just as important as what she does. A man who understands this will pick up on the subtle cues when she hesitates before answering, when she looks away while talking about something painful, or when she shifts her energy during certain topics. These moments provide deeper insight into her true feelings, allowing him to respond with genuine empathy and care. Being a good listener also builds trust. When a woman feels that she can talk to a man without being judged, dismissed, or ignored, she naturally opens up to him. She feels safe sharing her thoughts, dreams, and fears. This creates an emotional intimacy that goes beyond physical attraction. While other men may try to impress her with confidence or charm, the man who listens well earns a level of connection that lasts. The next time you're with a woman, focus on truly listening. Put your phone away, look her in the eyes, and engage with her words. Make her feel like, in that moment, nothing else in the world matters more than what she's saying. Show her that her words carry weight and that you are fully present. Don't just listen to respond, listen to understand. You'll be surprised at how much more she opens up to you, how much deeper your conversations become, and how much more she appreciates your presence. A man who listens well isn't just attractive, he's unforgettable. Chapter 4: Honesty. In a world where deception is common, honesty is a rare and powerful trait. Women don't just appreciate honesty, they crave it. They live in a society filled with misleading words, false promises, and half-truths, making sincerity a breath of fresh air. A Stoic man never hides behind lies, manipulations, or carefully crafted deceptions to appear more likable or successful. He understands that true strength lies in truth, even when it's difficult to speak or hear. Honesty isn't just about telling the truth, it's about being authentic in every aspect of life. Women are drawn to men who don't pretend to be something they are not. A man who wears a mask, telling people what they want to hear, may gain temporary approval, but he will never earn true respect. A woman can sense when a man is genuine, and nothing is more attractive than someone who stands firm in his identity without bending to societal pressure or superficial expectations. The man who openly owns his beliefs, his values, and even his flaws is the man who commands attention. He doesn't shapeshift to fit in, nor does he say things just to be agreeable. Instead, he speaks with conviction, confidence, and courage. A Stoic man tells a woman what she needs to hear, rather than what she wants to hear. This is what sets him apart from the rest. Many men choose the easy path, flattering a woman with empty words or avoiding difficult conversations to keep the peace. But the man who values honesty understands that the truth, even when uncomfortable, is far more valuable than sugar-coated deception. Women may not always like hearing the truth in the moment, but they will always respect a man who has the strength to deliver it. A man who is willing to challenge her, to hold her accountable, and to push her toward growth will always stand out. But honesty is more than just telling the truth to others, it's about telling the truth to yourself. A man who deceives himself cannot be truly honest with anyone else. A Stoic man looks in the mirror and acknowledges his strengths and weaknesses without denial or excuses. He doesn't pretend to be something he's not, nor does he live in a fantasy built on illusions of grandeur. He accepts himself completely, flaws and all, and that authenticity makes him incredibly attractive. Many men believe that showing emotion or vulnerability is a sign of weakness. They fear that if they open up, they'll be judged, ridiculed, or perceived as less masculine. But the reality is the opposite. A man who can express himself without fear of judgment is powerful beyond measure. Vulnerability doesn't mean spilling emotions recklessly, it means being in control of them, acknowledging them, and not running away from them. Women respect and admire a man who is emotionally secure. A man who can say, "I struggled, but I overcame," or "I made a mistake, and I take full responsibility is infinitely more attractive than a man who hides his failures behind arrogance or denial. A truly honest man doesn't fear his past, his pain, or his imperfections. He embraces them, learns from them, and grows stronger because of them. Honesty also creates trust, and trust is the foundation of any deep and meaningful relationship. A woman who knows that a man will always tell her the truth, no matter what, will feel safe around him. She won't have to second-guess his words or question his intentions. When she asks him a question, she'll know the answer she receives is real. When he makes a promise, she'll trust that he'll keep it. This level of security is rare, and it makes a man irreplaceable. At its core, honesty is about strength, strength to be real, to be accountable, and to be fearless in the face of truth. A man who embodies this principle doesn't just gain the respect of women, he commands respect from the world around him. And in a world full of illusions, a man who stands as a beacon of truth is truly irresistible. Chapter 5. Punctuality. Time is the most valuable resource we have. Unlike money, possessions, or even energy, time is the one thing we can never get back once it's spent. A man who understands this truth and applies it to his daily life naturally sets himself apart from the rest. He doesn't waste time, and more importantly, he doesn't waste the time of others. His punctuality is not just about being on time, it's a reflection of his discipline, reliability, and self-respect. A punctual man operates on a different level. He is precise in his actions, intentional in his decisions, and aware that his ability to manage time speaks volumes about his character. When he shows up to a meeting, an event, or a date exactly when he said he would, it sends a silent but powerful message: he is in control of his life. Women notice this. In a world where many people are unreliable, full of excuses, or lost in distractions, a man who consistently honors his commitments is rare, and rarity is attractive. Stoicism teaches us that our time is fleeting, and every wasted moment is a moment we will never get back. The Stoics lived by the principle that we should treat each day as if it were our last, ensuring that our actions align with our values and goals. A man who values punctuality embraces this mindset. He doesn't just talk about self-improvement or discipline, he embodies it. He doesn't procrastinate or delay, instead, he takes action when it's necessary, knowing that every second counts. Being punctual isn't just about respecting schedules, it's about respecting yourself. A man who consistently arrives on time is a man who values his own presence and contributions. He understands that lateness isn't just a minor inconvenience, it's a sign of carelessness, a lack of discipline, or worse, a disregard for others. When a man is always late, it communicates that he either doesn't have control over his life or doesn't care enough to make an effort. Neither of those qualities are admirable. But punctuality isn't just about self-respect, it's also about how you treat others, especially women. When a man makes a woman wait, whether it's for a date, a call, or a planned meeting, he sends an unspoken message: your time is not as important as mine. This can be subtle, but over time, it builds resentment and signals a lack of respect. A woman may not always say it outright, but she notices. She feels it when a man shows up late, distracted, or unprepared. It subtly tells her that she is not a priority in his life. However, the opposite is also true. When a man is punctual, when he arrives on time, or even a few minutes early, it speaks volumes about his character. It tells her that he is someone she can rely on, someone who is disciplined, and someone who takes life seriously. A man who respects his commitments and follows through with his word is a man who naturally earns respect in return. And respect is the foundation of attraction. Punctuality also reflects a deeper level of self-awareness. A man who values time understands that how he spends his moments defines his future. He recognizes that time wasted is potential wasted. He doesn't allow himself to get caught in cycles of laziness, excuses, or distractions. Instead, he operates with a sense of urgency, not in a panicked way, but in a focused, determined manner. He treats time as the precious resource it is, and that makes him more effective, more dependable, and ultimately more successful. Women are naturally drawn to men who have their lives together. A punctual man is a man who is organized, disciplined, and in control of his destiny. He doesn't scramble at the last minute, he doesn't rely on excuses, and he doesn't disappoint the people who depend on him. When he says he will be somewhere at a certain time, he is there. And that kind of reliability is incredibly attractive. In the end, punctuality is not just about being on time, it's about being the kind of man who values himself, respects others, and understands that life is too short to be wasted. A man who controls his time controls his destiny. And that is what makes him truly irresistible. Chapter 6: Being Healthy and in Shape. You don't need a six-pack to be attractive, but you do need self-respect. A man who takes care of his body isn't just lifting weights or counting calories, he's making a statement about who he is and what he values. He's showing the world that he has discipline, self-control, and a long-term vision for his life. Women are drawn to men who take care of themselves because it's a direct reflection of their mindset. A man who neglects his body, eats poorly, and leads a sedentary lifestyle is signaling that he lacks drive, motivation, and self-respect. On the other hand, a man who trains his body, eats well, and stays active exudes strength, not just physically, but mentally as well. The ancient Stoics understood this deeply. They believed that a strong mind required a strong body. They didn't train for vanity or superficial appeal, they trained for resilience, endurance, and the ability to withstand life's challenges. They saw the body as a tool, one that needed to be sharpened and maintained, just like the mind. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, emphasized the importance of physical training as part of self-discipline. To be indifferent to one's own physical health, he believed, was a sign of weakness, not wisdom. If you don't have control over your body, how can you expect to have control over your emotions, your thoughts, and your decisions? A man who exercises regularly, eats nutritious food, and prioritizes his health isn't just building muscle, he's building a foundation for his future. When you invest in your physical well-being, you're also investing in your confidence, your mental clarity, and your ability to handle stress. Physical health and mental toughness go hand in hand. Studies show that men who stay in shape tend to have higher testosterone levels, which naturally enhances confidence, assertiveness, and even attraction. Women pick up on these subconscious signals. When they see a man who values his body, they instinctively recognize his ability to protect, provide, and endure. Taking care of yourself isn't just about aesthetics, it's about longevity, energy, and a mindset of continuous self-improvement. A man who prioritizes his health is signaling that he's in control of his life. He's not a passive participant waiting for life to happen to him, he's actively shaping his destiny. He doesn't rely on excuses or let laziness dictate his actions. Instead, he pushes himself, knowing that every workout, every healthy meal, and every disciplined habit contributes to a stronger, more resilient version of himself. And this isn't about being extreme. You don't have to spend hours in the gym or eat like a bodybuilder to be in good shape. It's about consistency. Small, daily actions compound over time. A man who makes an effort to move his body, whether it's lifting weights, running, swimming, or even just walking, is already ahead of the majority of men who let their health deteriorate. The key is commitment, sticking to a routine and making health a non-negotiable part of your life. Women respect and admire men who demonstrate this level of discipline because it shows that they are capable of leading, providing, and maintaining stability in the long run. When a man is in shape, his presence commands attention. It's not just about looking good in clothes, it's about the way he carries himself. A fit man moves differently. He has a natural confidence, an energy that radiates strength and self-assurance. This is because he knows he has control over himself, and that control extends beyond the physical. It influences his mindset, his ability to handle pressure, and his overall approach to life. Women are naturally drawn to this kind of man because he embodies security and dominance, two traits that trigger deep biological attraction. A man who respects his body is a man who commands respect from others. His commitment to his health sends a clear message: he is not weak, he is not careless, and he is not complacent. He is always improving, always growing, always striving for better. And that is what makes him truly attractive, not just to women, but to the world around him. Chapter 7. Passion. Passion is magnetic. A man who possesses deep enthusiasm for something, whether it's his career, a hobby, or personal development, becomes infinitely more attractive. Women are naturally drawn to men who have a fire in their soul, a mission that drives them forward. Stoicism teaches us that a life without purpose is a life wasted, and nothing is more compelling than a man who wakes up every day with a reason to push himself further. When a man is truly passionate, he radiates an energy that captivates those around him, an intensity that makes people stop and take notice. Passion fuels his ambition, gives him direction, and makes him infinitely more interesting. It separates him from the average man who drifts through life aimlessly, without a deeper sense of meaning or direction. Passionate men are driven, not because they have to be, but because they can't imagine living any other way. They have a hunger for growth that never fades, a thirst for achievement that pushes them to surpass their own limitations. A woman doesn't just want a man who exists, she wants a man who thrives. She wants to feel that her man is going somewhere, that he has ambitions and dreams that extend far beyond just being in a relationship. When she sees a man pouring his energy into something greater than himself, she feels a gravitational pull toward him. A man without passion is forgettable, blending into the background of mediocrity, but a man with purpose becomes unforgettable. His drive, his hunger for growth, and his relentless pursuit of excellence make him someone who commands attention and respect. Passion isn't just about career goals or financial success, it's about having an unshakable fire inside that refuses to be extinguished. Whether it's music, sports, art, philosophy, or personal mastery, a man who is deeply invested in something demonstrates discipline, commitment, and an unwillingness to settle for less than he's capable of achieving. That kind of energy is intoxicating. It creates an aura of mystery and excitement because a passionate man is never stagnant, he is constantly evolving, constantly reaching for the next level. Women don't want a man who is stuck in place, repeating the same cycle every day. They want a man who is building something, moving forward, and living with intention. A man who is passionate about his goals and unafraid to chase them is a man who inspires admiration, not just in romantic relationships, but in every aspect of life. Passionate men inspire others to rise to their level, to push past their own limits, and to see life through a different lens, one filled with purpose and direction. Passion makes a man unpredictable in the best way possible. He isn't just going through the motions, he is creating, exploring, and achieving. His presence excites, his energy is contagious, and his vision is compelling. Whether it's the way he speaks about his goals or the way he dedicates himself fully to his pursuits, a passionate man naturally commands attention. He doesn't need to convince anyone of his value, his actions speak louder than words. These are the qualities that make a man truly irresistible. Confidence, reliability, honesty, and passion, these are the traits that stand the test of time. If you cultivate them, not only will women notice, but you'll also elevate yourself into the highest version of who you can be. A man who embraces his passions with full force becomes a force of nature himself. So ask yourself, what is the fire that fuels you? What drives you to get up every morning with purpose? If you can answer that question and live by it, you won't just attract women, you'll command the respect of the world around you. Passion is the ultimate game changer, the spark that separates a remarkable man from an ordinary one. If you enjoyed this, like the video, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what's the one trait you believe makes a man truly attractive. Becoming an irresistible man isn't about tricks, manipulation, or pretending to be someone you are not. It's about cultivating the qualities that make you strong, reliable, and deeply attractive on a fundamental level. Confidence, dependability, honesty, punctuality, and the ability to listen aren't just traits women love, they're the foundation of a life well lived. A Stoic man doesn't seek validation from others. He builds himself up through discipline, resilience, and self-mastery. He doesn't chase, he attracts. He understands that his worth isn't determined by how others perceive him, but by how he carries himself in every moment. If you want to be the kind of man that naturally draws others in, start with yourself. Invest in your personal growth. Keep your word. Be someone people can rely on. Speak the truth even when it's uncomfortable. Show up on time, listen intently, and walk with quiet confidence. When you become a man of integrity and strength, everything else, respect, admiration, and love, will follow. Now it's your turn. Which of these traits do you think is the most important in a man? Let me know in the comments. And if this video resonated with you, send a signal to the world, like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. See you in the next episode.